There's no better bet than a Sportingbet.
Well, hello and welcome to Chasing the Dollar, brought to you by Sportingbet. Ben Damon's my name, joined by Adam Pengilly for a look at the four legs of the Wentworth Park quaddie. How do you like the look of the meeting?
Yeah, it's not a bad meeting, man. Really common meeting, actually. Looking forward to a couple of the big staying features coming up and the Christmas gifts just around the corner as well. So we're sort of building momentum towards the big races in December, but we can try and find a few winners for the punters out there.
Yeah, there's certainly winners to be had, so we'll try and find them. Race number 5 is where we kick off the quaddie at Wentworth Park. Let's have a look at the field for this one over the 520 metres. What do you like?
Going number 7, Charm Road here, Ben. I think he can break through against a pretty common bunch. I really loved his run first up last week after a short freshen up behind Corborn Havoc. There's not a whole lot of early speed in this race, which I think gives him a chance to come across from wide out in the track. He's probably better drawn closer to the rail, so drawing out wide's the only query. But he does look the class runner in this race. Happy to make him my top pick. Mike Marlowe was a little bit disappointing as an odds-on pop last start. Comes back to a more suitable box in box 3. He has enough early speed to go close to leading, so he goes in for second. Vindictive was good last week and gets a nice run from the outside alley. And I've included number 2, Belfast Kaiser, for 4th, but pretty keen on number 7, Charm Road, in the first leg of the quaddie.
Race number 6 is not a bad looking race. This is the Sportingbet Stakes. It is the free-for-all of the night, and there's some pretty handy ones going around as well. You think you've found one at a price for it?
Yeah, this looks like a really good race, Ben. I'm going to put my hand up. I'm probably the number 1 ticket holder in the Electro Storm fan club, so I've got to include my bias there. But I'm actually going for him in this race. I think he can run a huge race at a big price here. Clearly, he's probably not the best greyhound in the race, but he ticks a lot of boxes for mine here. He's got a wide runner on his outside, double twist on his inside, who can be a little bit sluggish early. He's drawn to get across to the rails in the first 30 or 40 metres, and I think his run last week was a lot better than what it looked on paper. He should have finished closer to edge, bar that check on the home turn. Geez, I think he can run a huge race here. I think he's going to go around at a big price, probably double figures. If he can find the lead, or at least posse up second in the early going, if he just jumps a little bit cleaner, I reckon he's going to run a massive race. Number 8, Zipping Summer, will be the favourite, goes in for second. Her form speaks for itself. My only query with her is if she doesn't lead, she might have a trouble running 1 or 2 of these down, so I've only included her for second. Number 2, Double Twist, comes back to Sydney after a difficult Melbourne Cup campaign down at Sandown. She'll be a big improver in this race. And number 1, Incumbent, was impressive after a little freshen up, first up at Bulleye last week. Tough race, but my numbers are 3, 8, 2 and 1.
That'll take us to race number 7 on the program. This is a 5th grader and a pretty tough race on paper, that is for sure. What did you make of it? Yeah, you're pretty right there, Ben. I reckon it's probably the toughest race on the program on Saturday night. I've eventually settled on Mr. Fordham, who's drawn back on the right side of the track for him. He went down as an odds-on pop a fortnight ago, but had little luck there. He's got a really slow beginner on his inside, which gives him a chance to balance up and really go through the gears in the first 50 to 60 metres. Provided with a little bit of luck through the first turn, he should get the last crack at him, and is my top pick in the race. Number 4, Charm Warrior, goes in for second, even allowing for his poor strike rate at Wenny. He's run some pretty good races at headquarters and got that Mr. Kenmore form line from a few starts back, so he goes in for second. Pleiades was honest throughout the Vic Peters series and goes in for third, and Ron Ray Fly, have to keep her safe on her best form as she resumes here. Probably the toughest race at Wentworth Park on Saturday night, but my numbers are 2, 4, 6 and 5. Okay, the final leg of the quaddie is race number 8, another 5th grader, and probably the box drawer has made this one a little bit difficult for you. What do you think?
Going number 3, Fire Elusive, Ben, on the back of last week's win. Granted, he's probably better drawn a bit wider out in the track, but I think he has enough early speed here to head off 1 or 2 of these and then roll off a little bit at the first turn and be pretty prominent going into the back straight. Anything sub 30 seconds here, which he's capable of, is probably good enough to win this race. I've made him my top pick. If you want to see a greyhound running to dead end after dead end, watch the replay of number 8, Pablo Cruz, last week. Just had absolutely no luck. A lot better greyhound than what he showed last week. Drawn to charge down the middle of the track and get the fly on the outside, so he's got winning hopes as well. Coolmac has been racing really well at Gosford of late, and I think comes back to Wentworth Park for the first time since the Magic Maiden final in March. So it's a long time between drinks for him at Wentworth Park. And Red Jaffa is only for your multiple players. Another pretty tough race to finish the quaddie, but I really like number 3, Fire Elusive.
Okay, Adam, give us your best bet on the program.
Sticking to the quaddie legs here, Ben. Race 5, number 7, Charm Road. I think he gets his chance in a reasonably weak race. If he can begin nicely, I think he can probably win the first leg of the quaddie.
And the value comes in the quaddie legs as well, does it?
Yeah, it does. Race 6, number 3, Electro Storm. Massive fan of this greyhound. I think he gets the right draw on Saturday night against a pretty hot field. If he steps cleanly, I reckon he can run a huge race.
All right, you gave us a quaddie last week. Let's do it again.
Yeah, we're not going to crow too much about it, Ben. Maybe a couple of drinks and a taxi ride home was all we got out of the quaddie last week. But in the first leg, we'll go with Charm Road and just include Mike Marlowe for a bit of value. In the second leg, we're going to take 4 runs. We're going to take Zipping Summer, which is the favourite, as well as Electro Storm, Double Twist and Incumbent. In the third leg, we'll go with Mr. Fordham, Charm Warrior and Pleiades. And we're going to come home with Fire Elusive and Pablo Cruz from box 8.
A couple of drinks and a taxi ride sounds perfect. Hopefully we'll get that again.
It's not too bad. A winning quaddie is a good quaddie, so I suppose we can't ask for too much more than that.
No, we certainly can't. We'll see you next time on Chasing the Dollar.
There's no better bet than a Sportingbet.